Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Cobra Knight Attack 4-wheel drive Stinger. I know people have been waiting for this. This is, not this one. We've already seen this one. I got a review of that. We've been waiting for this one. Number 120 in the line. This big old beast, and I'll tell you what, this box is heavy. So, right from the beginning here, looking at everything, I absolutely love the window. This reminds me of what we had as a kid, and even though this isn't available, well, it's not available at Target in places like Walmart, but it will be available at places like Sergeant Red's and other specialty shops. You have this wonderful window package that reminds us of when we were kids. And then you have two different stingers there, and you got the ferret there, but you get the blast effects. You can kind of see everything that's going on with it. Here we have the awesome artwork on this wonderfully looking Cobra Stinger driver, number 120. Here we have the file card system that still no one understands, and the QR code that leads to, that's right, it leads you to hell. At least, I should probably look it up because I keep saying that, and hell, it might be telling us everything we need to know. So anyway, here we go. This is a repackage of the Vamp. And I will take a look at that so you can see the differences. Here you have the blast effects, which came with scrap iron. This is a Cobra Officer repaint, I think, for the most part. I don't think there's anything changed. I could be wrong. All right. And then you just have a couple other details that it's showing you. So I will say this might be a long video, so bear with me. We're going to compare this to the original Stinger, including the one that came out a few years ago that got everyone in an uproar because they're still waiting to find it. We'll take a look at it compared to the Vamp so we can actually see what's different on it and if you can actually swap the parts if that's something that you want to do. And then, yeah, you know how my videos go. They take quite some time. But why not wait? Let's stop wasting time and get right into it. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like what I'm giving you, like G.I. Joe, it's a lot of stuff. You can kind of see Sarge might be right over there. Take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop another G.I. Joe video. Now let's get into this. Okay, so I got this out. There's a lot of things that I'm going to quickly go over. So first off, all the weapons come in this plastic housing. All right, actually really easy to come out, no problem there. All the missiles come in here. All right, so it's easy. Hopefully, I'm assuming it's supposed to keep them nice and straight. All right, now all the blast effects come in this. It comes bagged in here with this thing that you guys know my complaint on it. 120, Cobra symbol, upside down 120. And then tells you what it is. I don't know if they're going to continue to do that for all the vehicles. I'm fine if they are. I'm fine if they don't. All right, so you can see how this thing is packaged. So I'll take this off. Now, the His tank came packaged like this. The Vamp came packaged like this. So if you don't have one of those, this here is it's a sticky plastic. It doesn't leave any residue or anything. But it is so nothing gets scratched on your vehicle during transit, and you can kind of see how it sticks together. So let's get this thing off because, yeah, I cannot imagine how annoying that noise is. All right, so quickly, here are the instructions, and the first thing that I noticed, and I already checked, is that on the wheels, they don't tell you the direction that they're supposed to go. This was a huge confusion that people had, and I looked at the wheels, and every single tire is the exact same tread. On the Vamp, there was 2 and 2. It drove people nuts. I showed you how to do it. Some people said on the Vamp they didn't get 2 and 2. They only got one of all of them. So go ahead. You can check on that video. I will leave a review to that Vamp in the description and also in the first comment pinned. All right, so we're just going to pop this on. Here we can see how the missile rack is going to go, how the step is going to go, the winch, or the grill guard, shall I say, and then the engine. So And on the back, it just tells you how to put the helmet on the figure. I know people got really upset about that and called them out, even though other companies will do the same thing. So, really easy. Here's the tires, and they just pop right on. We have seen a lot of people, they will just pull these things off. I know Gridiron is making heavier duty tires for both this and the Vamp, and also for the Ferret and the Tiger Paw. All right, so there you go with that. As you can see, really easy to throw on there, no problem. So here what we have is this little step bar, which is what the Stinger had. And kind of like Gridiron stuff, it looks like it's just gonna kind of slip right in here and just pop right on. So you can see here, this is where they put another piece in that, man, these things are heavy. Forget how heavy these things are. I'm not carrying them around all the time. So this piece here, if you can pop it out, it can be interchangeable, or you could probably get this on over here, which actually makes a lot more sense, to be 100%. All right, so I knocked the tripod over, just like Matthew Matson, how his constantly goes over. I finally did that here. So anyway, kind of forget where I was, but I was pointing out that this piece here is filled in. Then you have this piece here, the little step bar. You could probably get it on here and actually make more sense. Hopefully they'll make an extra piece so you can drop this onto your Vamp so they can actually run the turret here. All right. Next, we're going to have the, I wonder how this thing goes. So there is your missile rack, which has a nice ratchet, as we can hear. You look at the design on it. We will take a look at this and see how close it is to the original. And it looks like they are keyed differently. So you're going to know which one goes which way. So looking at the missile here, the bigger one, smaller peg there. So here's the rocket. There's an X04 on it. Nice detail. It is straight. It does have some flex to it, just like the other missiles. I'm not going to complain about it as long as it stays straight. And so far, this one, that one looks like it has a little curve to it. This one, they're all fairly straight. Nothing to really complain too much about. All right. So quickly, we'll kind of mount these on here. And I can already tell you these things fit way better than the original Stinger, which, let's be honest, wasn't the greatest design. All right. Now, I do wonder, they don't seem to have too much flex, so that's pretty good. And then this thing is just going to kind of plug right on here, and you are good to go with your rockets. All right. Glad I could get that whole thing in there. All right. And then on the front, we have the engine piece. All right. And let's see what this does say here. It does say, beware of hot surface to access turbo system. Undo bolts when then remove cover plate. Please refer to the owner's manual for maintenance of product. All right. So this thing here is only one piece. And that just kind of pops on like so. And if you do remember, that was one of the big differences with the Vamp and the Stinger. And I'll show you here. So they use the same hood. Now you could swap these out, and black probably wouldn't look all that bad. But here you have what looks like it's some sort of tent or bag, and then you have this EV sensor. And here we have a turbo engine. So technically the Stinger is going to be much, much faster in theory. And then we have our shovel, which goes on upside down. Just remember that. That's how it sets, upside down. All right. You can kind of move it where it needs to go. All right. Push that back. So those are the two big differences on the outside of everything. All right. Here we have our grill guard. This is more like a ram to smash through things, because we have the grill guard right here. All right. And quickly, so it looks like it is supposed to go on like so, but I'm not seeing how it goes. Wow. I do have the instructions right there. I definitely don't see where. I mean, it looks like I'm supposed to. Well, that is very interesting. It actually snaps on top of it. Oh. So if it's meant to snap on top, the same as these little pieces, which kind of makes sense. It's got the little notches right there. So I can probably take it over here. You can see. And they should be the same. Yep. So once again, as you can see, it is universal. I can pop it over here, and I could throw these on here. So once again, very customizable if that's something you want to do. I'll throw this over here and throw this back up. All right. As I said, this is going to be a long video. And then here we have the roof, which should just pop right on, hopefully without a problem. I told you, man, there's a lot of stuff in this. So, but if you want to know exactly how it's going to go on, there you go. So now it's completely covered up. I feel like we're going to continue to have issues with these things kind of falling off. Just kind of got to push it down. I really wish this peg was a little bit longer so it'd hold on better, but I guess we kind of got to deal with what it is. I do like that these things are offset. So I like the fact that these missiles look offset right now. All right, let's get into everything. So we'll look at the vehicle since I have the vehicle out. All right, so first things first, let's pull this stinger over. Now, the one thing a lot of people, I don't know if they didn't realize or they didn't know, or maybe they just didn't say anything, is that this re-released one has gray doors, gray wheel flares, gray hood. But the original Stinger was all black. All right, this is a gray, but it was supposed to be black or a very dark gray. All right, everything else on these are the exact same, but for all intents and purposes of not ruining this any more than what I might get, I'm just gonna kind of leave the original one. But as you can see, they are the exact same. So they put the more evil grill guard right here. They do have it on the original one. You have your headlights, and of course with these headlights, I love what they did here. All right, so this is actually embroidered, or actually it's a little piece that goes on top of it. So it's made to actually guard against your lights being shattered out, which I never realized that's what that was supposed to be. I do like the fact that they put the turning blinker on, which they actually don't have on the Vamp over here. You do have working, yeah, I can't think of what these are called, hooks. You have your ram bar, which is what they're saying this is, but this is more of an attack bar, right? That is more of a ram bar, a push bar, right? You do have a working winch, which does pull out roughly about 10 inches, I would say. And then it's going to kind of rotate back up. Now, a lot of people don't really know what to do with this. All I do with my vamp is I just hook it right here. And then it stays out of the way rather than it just kind of like bouncing around, all right? It does have like a little hook here, or a little chain. But I do love the way that these lights look. Here you have your turbo engine, which we already looked at, and we do have the shovel, which pops off nice and easily. It has the same wheels that that guy has right there, the HMS. I like that they put these covers over it, so it actually works a little bit better. You don't have to worry about being shot right through the window by one of the snipers. You have your BWX04 Stinger right here. Both of them had it with the Cobra symbol right over here. And I like the fact that they make it look like the back piece can lock down. So you could change it around, make it something different. Unfortunately, it doesn't really come off. But we've seen companies like Pixis Design and stuff, they do stuff like that. All right. It does have the beware to unlatch, pull back the latch, and unhook and release. So these things do just go up, going style, the exact same way as before. We have the back. Again, if you don't like your officers who's ever here, you can put them right back here and let them get wiped away when one of the rockets go. It still makes no sense, but hey. Then we have the design that you really don't get to see too much. I think on the Vamp so much. I guess you do, but the machine gun kind of covers it. Maybe I'm thinking because I was always looking at that gridiron one. Grill guard, or I'm sorry, guards in the back so your tail lights don't get smashed out. I don't know how much you really want that when you're driving at night. We do have the mirrors, which once again, you can see, like you can see my finger. So you can do all kinds of cool photos if you're able to take a perfect shot right there. All right. Then you have your little step up. Now, these are more important on the Vamp because they have the oh shit handles. So you can have a guy hold on to it and be here. Unfortunately, these don't have it because it has doors. All right. So I'm going to be assuming every time you take a figure out, you're going to be taking off the missile rack. And this thing is going to pop. I'm going to have to pop it off every single time. And this will be somewhat of a pain. Now, I guess you can just open it like this. So you open up one side. All right. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that they made it so it has LED lights at the top. So rather than we have LED lights on this, they're actually on top of the roof, which this one never had, but it just makes sense that that's where they would be. And if you don't like them, they just kind of blend in and you don't even realize it. All right, so in the back here, let's flip this down. So the window here is tinted, just so you know. Now, I wonder if it goes down. It doesn't go down as much because this turbo engine is actually bigger. All right, so the turbo engine, or the turbo on top of it, is actually bigger, so it doesn't go down nearly as much because that's actually what this is for, to stop it. All right, but this is nice and tinted, so I think you're going to get a lot of cool shots inside. We've already seen them do it. Now I can only imagine what everyone else is going to do. Probably the exact same picture that Shooting the Galaxy did. We're going to take this off really quick. Here we have our fire extinguisher, which pops into the back, actually all the way, actually pops on from the rear over here. All right. So there's your fire extinguisher. All right. So now we'll get to the inside of this and do my best. Bear with me. It ain't gonna work. I can only, oh, I guess I can zoom in a little more. But I had stuff fall on me. Told you this review is gonna be long. All right, let's open that up there. Man, you do not see a lot with these doors and everything. All right. So the wheels do not turn. We've already addressed that. But on the inside, we have your nice little cluster gauge. You have a wheel that is going to move back and forth. You have all your different gauges. All right. You got your clock or your speedometer in kilometers. Oh my God. They are a terrorist organization using kilometers. We have this piece, the gear shifter, which does shift back and forth. All right. And I can say I've had Clutch. He holds on to that thing, no problem whatsoever. And then you have some more gauges right over here, along with this piece, which is a flashlight. All right. And it looks like it is kind of, not sure if it's embroidered. No, I think it has a little bit of embroiderment. But it looks more like a lightsaber, to be 100% honest. It looks like Luke's lightsaber from Jedi, which would also be Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Anyway, so there is your gauges. I'm going to try and show you the seats. You do have the mirror right here. Unfortunately, there's no mirror. Now, that would have been really cool if they would have shown, actually had a mirror there that was the same as the side mirrors. And then you have your seats. Okay, and a lot of people have already shown this is where you can put his AK-47. All right, so the detail on it is extremely nice, as you can see. Let's get this thing back out here. But all in all, it is a nice looking vehicle just from what I am seeing right away without putting anything on it. I'm not going to put this back on until we kind of load up the figure. And again, I like the way the rockets are offset, and they're actually low. So they actually have like a lower look to them. But yeah, I think these look really, really nice. All right, so that is our Stinger vehicle. Oh, thing I forgot, the engine, which I actually forgot completely in my Vamp review. Here we go, and this thing will come out if you wiggle it. I think you might need to use maybe like a flat blade to just kind of pull it out. Oh, there we go. So the engine does come out, so you can make it so it's being lifted. I don't think you really want it out too much, but there's your design. All right, there's your pulley system. And on the back, you just have the cover. So looking at it, I'm going to assume this is a V8. And you don't really see the turbo because the turbo is supposed to be that right there. Whew! Boy, this is a lot. Boy, this is a lot. And thank you for bearing with me, especially after I knocked over the tripod. So quickly, we'll take a look at the driver. And take a look at everything. So here, we have these blast effects. We've already seen all of these. So this is a cool looking effect. Got the smoke down here. It's exploding. We got this one. This is the one I think most people don't understand what it's supposed to be, but with a vehicle, it kind of looks like, you can make it look like it's peeling out, but it still doesn't make sense that it is a blast effect. We have this one where it's kind of hitting and everything's exploding. We have the smaller one, and I do like the way they're wrapped around. I gotta say, I look at these and it reminds me of Superman 2, or Superman when he's visiting his, what is his solitude? I forget what it's called. And then we have these ones. And I know these bother a lot of people, and rightly so. The smoke, they really should have fixed this. Or just completely redesign them, because these don't really do you any good. These are going to plug into the back of the missiles. The problem is the smoke is here, the blast is at the end. Now, I know why they did this. I think they look really good with scrap iron. They look really good on bazooka and his bazooka, but these should be like this. It's unfortunate. It's too bad. But it is something that needs to be pointed out, that I can't really see myself using these. Also, they're kind of bent. But this is a real disappointment that they didn't have the fire effect coming out here and then the smoke on the end. Even just changing the color would have gone really far. It's almost like somebody just completely missed that. All right. Get rid of this stinger. Wow. Now, if you do notice quickly, I guess there is no handlebar. So, no handlebar there. Nothing you can really do about it. And I guess I should show this here. So I'm talking about a sleeker look here. You can tell how those sit, and these ones like right on top of each other. So it sits really high. And then you have the offsetness. These are slightly offset, but these are really offset. I think these look really nice. I think those look way better. All right. So now we're going to take a look at the Stinger driver. And I said that I believed he was mostly the Cobra officer. I have a Cobra officer right here. And I can say that the first thing that I noticed right away is the head sculpt is different. So this does use the infantry or the Cobra Island figure. I forget. Cobra Island Trooper. Everything else is the exact same. All right, so you don't have to worry about that. It is all the exact same. Which I think this is a wonderful looking figure. I absolutely love the Cobra Officer. I love the Cobra Trooper. I like this mask. I can't say I like it more than this, but I like it just as much. All right. So what we do have here is the same back piece for either rifle. So we do have this rifle. All right, this is like a small submachine gun. Has some nice look to it. All right, the magazine goes in here, which pops in just like that. So it's going to use the same magazine as the AK-47. It is straight. It actually feels pretty solid, to be honest. The design on it's cool. I don't know if it's real, but I do love the magazine on the side like this. It just is a cool look. We get the AK-47. All right. Got the red handle, which I do like. Just it adds a little bit to it. Design is decent. All right. And then you have the magazine, which pops in right there. Notably absent is the flashlight. Now, the other thing they gave you was 2 magazines, which they only gave you one mag. Did they give you 2 magazines? Hold on. Actually, they gave you 2 magazines. Sorry. So it is noticeable that the flashlight is missing, which kind of makes the AK-47 look kind of silly. But if you really need one, you pull one off another figure that you're not using. All right. Then we have the Han Solo blaster. I hate this gun, but it's not as bad as the original guns. These all do have portholes for blast effects. I feel like I've gone over these, and I know I've spent a lot of time on this video, so. But it's a decent looking gun. I don't really care for it. Then we have our knife, which has the red to it, and it, silver blade, so it looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to arm this guy up. We got the helmet. So for some odd reason, I thought he used the Cobra Officer helmet, because he originally did with the chevron. So he does not have the chevron. He has the original helmet. All right. So, and I know that will probably bug some people, but it is a different figure. So, quickly comparing these two. All right. So the mask and the head and the chevron helmet are completely different. But you get the gray, you get the red Cobra symbol, the same looking web gear, along with the red pouch right there. They did not paint the top there. All right, they gave him a red knife. I guess you could go and swap it with one of these if it's something that really bothers you. They did give him black knee pads, which this one doesn't have. Black boots. And you can see the web gear is actually made to look similar to what this was. They do give him what came with the Cobra Trooper, the Cobra Island Trooper, shall I say. I'm having a brain fart. I'm thinking that it was actually called something different. So, quickly, we'll arm this guy up. I'm not sure if everything's going to fit on him when he's sitting down in the Stinger. Man, that thing is... Jeez. I remember this being so hard to get this thing in. Oh, it's all like warped. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's pull that thing out. Adjust it, and boom. Look at that. It goes right in there. Got that there. If you want to throw this on them. Now, either rifle will fit in this. I don't really keep them on too many of mine. I have it on him. That's because I like to have one that's fully loaded up. And I guess I could look at it. So this does go this way. All right. And the way you know is the sight here. Oh, this review is going amazing. Bear with me, guys. While you're here, if you've been here this long, please take a second and hit that like button. All right. So you can see the little notch there. That's how that goes. But it's got the nice Cobra symbol. Now, when it comes to this one, it actually goes the opposite way. So, I don't know if it was actually made to go like that. Oh, actually, this here, oh, you know, I've never noticed, but you can keep the magazine in with the AK-47. Oh, that is very interesting. I did not realize that. All these officers that I have, you can keep that in like that. Oh, that's nice to know. So, and quickly we will go ahead and stand him. We'll get him in the vehicle, see how he looks. So there you go. Doesn't have any of the goggles. This might have been a really good figure to come with goggles, like some sort of night vision. All right. So now you're wondering, how does this guy go in here? And this does not come with him. All right. This came with another one of those 2-packs. It actually came with the Cobra Officer and the Cobra Trooper, the O-ring 2-pack. So, all right, we'll flip this thing down. Take our boy. Throw him right in here. Like I said, you can easily have him hold on to the shifter. You can reach up. You got to pry his hand out. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to take some shots. What people have been doing, it would have been really cool if they would have left a peg somewhere so you could just kind of mount this maybe on the back. So, what we have seen is people fitting the AK-47 in just like that. All right. Okay, close that. And you can see through there. So look at that. You can see through it, and it looks way different than the tint that you get with the Vamp. So Again, if you're still here, God bless your little heart. All right. I'm going to throw this on. So my question is, can we get the guy in and out without? So you can get him out. Maybe. It's not going to be the easiest. Definitely want to remove everything from him. So I got him out. My question is, can you get him in? I can tell you, now I would be folding this down here so you can kind of maneuver it. Yeah, he actually does go in pretty easily. So you just pull his hand out. Look at that. Now he's holding it. I'm not going to mess with that because I really do have to pull that off or really struggle with it. But this thing's going to fall off easily. Be careful going out in the woods with this piece because that thing's going to fall off fairly easy. So there you go. He fits inside pretty nicely. Oops, you can't. He does have headroom. So all in all, a nice looking vehicle. I should probably throw the rockets on because you're probably going, hey, what's it look like with the rockets? Well, doesn't look like nothing if I pop them off. All right. One last thing to do. Let's get rid of the vamp. Throw this on the floor really quick. And again, if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this and you're going, why are you going over all this? Why don't you stop it? I don't like doing edits. I like to show exactly what it's like, what you're going to be getting, what you're going to be doing. Okay, so here we go. And then we have our... Oops, I forgot to put his helmet back on. Here is our HMS. All right. So, the reason why this was moved, all right, it needs to be in the lower position for the HISS tank. So we can move this up. All right, so once it moves up, it goes up like this. And now we are sitting at the proper proper height of our stinger. All right. Now these are a tight fit. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to see here. All right. So this will be the same as when the SMS comes out. This is the SMS. So I think it's just going to kind of plug right in there, and then you can easily wheel it back and forth. You're going to have to pop this thing back on it. All right. But everything is, the plastic is soft enough that you don't have to really worry about it. There you go. And you can kind of see how it goes. I don't have it pushed down all the way. It definitely does look like it's pushing into the front, but I know that I had it on the stinger, so I'm not overly concerned. There we go. Now it's on all the way. See that? So you don't have to worry about it. It's not like a Tesla truck. You don't have to worry about it ripping off the rear end of it. But there you go. And again, they do have the same wheels, except for the stinger has the red trim around it. God, I think I wasted enough of your guys' time. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is our stinger, the classified stinger. Thank you guys all for bearing with me. I know this thing is long, but if you're new to the channel, I like to show how it's going to be when you get out of the box and how you have to set it up. So if you need to figure out, if you're not sure about this and you're struggling like I was, if you're wondering, you know, if that comes down, it does, how the figure looks inside of it. He's in there. You can barely see him. Again, this thing will move. How the HMS is going to connect. Here you go. You get the video. I like this. I really like the Vamp. It is way more sturdy than I was expecting. The Vamp, obviously the Stinger, is heavier than you're thinking it's going to be. If you don't have a Vamp, because I know a lot of people didn't get it, I do assume that they'll make some more Vamps. They made a lot of these. Expect the Vamp Mark II. Expect a rerun of these Vamps. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. So, Yeah, straighten this. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I wasted more than enough of your time. Thank you very much. Please, if you're on the social medias, Instagram, A Punk with Toys, hit me, give me a follow there. Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. I'm going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere. Please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video. Like maybe the Sergeant Slaughter right over here, the Mad Marauders, or is it Sergeant Marauders? I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. Now I am actually going to leave, but don't go anywhere. You stayed this long. Right up here, I'm going to leave my review to the HMS because I know a lot of people didn't have his tank. But now you need the HMS to be pulled by that Stinger, and down here will be the classified playlist of all the vehicles that I've done, all the figures, all the classified stuff that I've done. Take care.